I'm going to be waking up at 3 a.m. every single day for the next week to test if the benefits millionaires claim of an all-around more successful, focused, and improved life are because of this grueling sleep schedule. Day 1 started off pretty rough, but I managed to push myself out of bed since I was excited to see the possible benefits by the end of the week and also to create an opportunity to challenge myself.
Let's check how much sleep we got last night, okay? So all of the little red marks is when we were awake. It's like half of the entire time we were sleeping.
Right off the bat, a third of my entire time in bed last night was awake. I had read prior to this that studies show changing your sleep pattern by 90 minutes in either direction overnight can increase chances of heart attacks and a lower metabolism. The problem is, I had just done it by 4.5 hours. Part of my usual everyday routine is to get around 30 minutes of light cardio in right after waking up. And although I slept horribly, it was 4 a.m., dark, and 26 degrees, I got to running to see how my body would react.
So one thing I'm already realizing is that I'm actually not that tired. My mind feels like it's kind of on a motor right now.
This mind-motor feeling I was describing now seems similar to brain fog, which is primarily caused by lack of sleep.
Coming up on that 10-minute mark. Now we're nice and warmed up. Not really too cold at all.
Despite the extremely unique experience of running past night lights in complete silence with not a single soul in sight, the fatigue and brain fog due to my body not being adjusted to waking up at 3 a.m. yet started to kick in.
All right, so we're just over 20 minutes into the run, and not gonna lie, I'm not feeling as hot as I was at the beginning of it. I think it's because my body knows that we need sleep right now.
I didn't wake up at 3 a.m. just to not get after it though. So I finished off the 30-minute run with a pace that was well below my usual average. I looked around one last time and took in probably the most surreal and peaceful environment I've ever seen. Humming coming from dim lights nearby, the snowy streets empty, and no distractions like other people or a buzzing phone that could have prevented me from starting off my morning productive.
Okay, so we just got back, still trying to stay quiet. People are still asleep. We're about to shower, we're about to eat, and we're gonna get some work done to see how our focus is now. I know this is all gonna be a mental game, and I'm sure in a few days my body's really gonna be adjusted to it, and we'll actually see the benefits of waking up at 3 a.m.
If I wanted to adjust to this new sleep schedule as fast as possible and see the maximum benefits, I needed to continue my healthy living habits like eating 3 whole food meals a day, staying hydrated, and staying busy to keep myself awake. That left me finishing breakfast at around 6 a.m. So I continued working on some videos until the sun came up. Overall, I found myself really locked in when I had no calls coming in and nobody else was awake in my social circles yet, which is one of the major benefits these millionaires claim to experience.
Now that I'm out here, it is so much more louder. Like, you can hear cars off in the distance compared to this morning. It's really weird because you never really like think about it. You never take a second to just listen, and like you can hear the cars, you can hear machinery off in the distance, but when it was 3 a.m. you literally could not hear any of that. It was so calm and just peaceful.
For the next couple hours after my break, I ate lunch and continued working by cutting up the footage I recorded, replying to some emails, and also ordering gear for my Mount Everest training I just started a week ago.
Okay, so it's 2:06 right now, and we're probably going to go downstairs, stretch out a little bit because I have been slouching all day because I'm tired.
No matter how tired I am, I always make sure to abstain from naps and stick to my designated sleep schedule. Naps have been linked to poor sleep and depression, so whenever I have the urge to lay down for even a second, I always try to get moving and do things such as rolling and stretching out my muscles or playing with my animals, which really helps me stay awake.
So as you can see now, it's 5:15, but it's all dark out now, so hey, that's my day. We experienced the whole day-night cycle. Now you're gonna have to leave, by the way. A nice, beautiful 3 a.m. alarm.
With day 1 ended, the benefits so far have been small compared to what I hope they'll be once my body adjusts more. But overall, I felt more focused since there was less distractions, and also because I started my day in a self-disciplined and purposeful environment, that seriously carried through into my productivity all the way until I went to bed. But I was not content yet, so on day 2, I forced myself out of bed once again. I went about my usual daily routine, opened my blinds, went downstairs, skincare, brushed my teeth, and observed my new eye circles.
Let's check how much sleep we got last night. I think it is a lot better though. Definitely better than last night.
Compared to the first nights and even my sleep prior to this challenge, last night's was surprisingly much better. This is most likely a result of experiencing the entire day cycle, which changed my circadian clock, and also definitely the fact I went to bed right after the sun sets, which is one of the times your body produces the most melatonin.
And with that being said, we got a little bit of a different workout today, so I'll see you there in a minute.
As of doing this challenge, I'm also training to climb Mount Everest in 2024. And every Monday, I'm supposed to do a 3 to 4 hour hike with a weighted backpack on. But since it's freezing, dark, and icy, I resulted to the only gym that was open this early to try and simulate it.
All right, sir, what's your name?
Jamie Porter.
What makes you get up so early?
It just makes it no one in here.
You don't have guys like me coming up to you.
Yeah, right?
Jamie could tell I was a fake 3 a.m. grinder, and I didn't want to have a similar interaction with the other 4 hyper-focused people in the gym. So I loaded up my 20-pound backpack and got to hiking. Just like yesterday, it was difficult to start moving so early in the morning, but once I warmed up, I actually began to feel just like or even better than I normally would. And after another hour and a half of suffering, I finished the hike with my Apple Watch saying I accomplished a 1,600 calorie burn all before it was even 8 a.m.
All right, so that was our simulated 4 a.m. hike. I'm feeling pretty dead after that one, but I'm actually feeling better than I was after the run yesterday, so I definitely think we're adapting to our new living habits.
Well, after the workouts, I did say I was feeling decent. Once I drove home, showered, and ate, out of nowhere, the major change in my sleep schedule hit me like a wall.
All right, so it's just past 10 on day 2, and honestly, I'm probably feeling more exhausted than I have in a really long time.
I tried my best to stay productive and fight through the urge to sleep by working on this video, doing some other tasks, and eating clean meals, but despite my efforts, I actually didn't feel any better or experience any more 3 a.m. benefits throughout the day.
All right, so we're closing up shop for the day. It's about 5:20 right now. We gotta make sure to get our 9 hours of sleep in tonight. We're gonna go to bed. Tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna be refreshed, and we're gonna get back after it.
Unfortunately, my feelings would be the complete opposite, because waking up on day 3, I felt the worst I had this entire journey.
So right now, I'm about to go out for my 30-minute run today. Once again, it's 24 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit windy. Of course, it's dark out.
But while going downstairs to warm up my legs and calves, the weakness from yesterday and my emotions started to get the best of me.
All right, so I know I said in that last clip I was gonna get after and everything, but I literally don't think I can. I never really get emotional, but like these are the only times I get emotional because I don't even know if I'm letting you guys down, but I'm letting myself down. I just don't think I have it in me. And that's the annoying thing. I know it's in me. I know I can do it, and you never can't do something, but I guess I'm too weak to be able to do it right now, so.
It was 4 a.m. and because I absolutely hated myself for opting out, felt horrible, and contemplated doing the whole rest of the challenge, I started day 3 off extremely negatively. This bad start carried through to my work and rest of my daily routine, which just goes to show you have to always be consistent and start your days off collected and productive like we had for days 1 and 2.
Honestly, I have no idea what these are from. I think like my eyes are just irritated. I don't think that's from being tired, because I'm not that tired. We're gonna get after it tomorrow, right when we wake up. I ain't messing around tomorrow. I ain't. So come on, let's get it.
Later that night at 5:15, I went to bed at a perfect time with a reset mindset. And on day 4, I woke up feeling driven and disciplined to make this my best day yet.
Okay, so it's about 3:20 a.m. and I will be honest, I'm feeling much better today.
I checked my sleep, which was solid once again, warmed up my calves, and got out into the 19-degree darkness for my light morning cardio. I started to feel strengthened, thinking how if I push through this much discomfort, what will I be able to achieve during the rest of my days?
When I started off this challenge, I was really worried that I wasn't gonna be able to stay consistent with my daily routine and my workouts. There's always gonna be times when it's difficult to push through, but you always got something to give. Sometimes you just gotta dig a little deeper for it.
It was at this point now the mental challenge of waking up so early and getting after it had subsided. It felt more like it was just a part of my routine, which I assumed was my mind and body adapting and getting stronger. That momentum from my run continued throughout the rest of day 4, from eating a clean breakfast at 5 a.m., leaving my phone on the other side of the room to minimize any distractions, and getting a whole lot of work done. I also got my second workout of the day in, ate, did some more work, and finished off probably the most locked in, productive day I've had in a long time.
All right, so my eyes look a little bit tired, but either way, honestly, I felt really good today. We got both of our freaking workouts done. We got a ton of work done. I was barely distracted. And now it's like 5:20 p.m. and I'm about to go to bed again.
And for days 5 and 6, I was seeing just as much or even more benefits to waking up at 3 a.m. compared to day 4 as my body continued adjusting. I went about my usual everyday routine, running right after waking up, working while the sun rose, eating, working out again, and working until the sun had set. Of course, I had a few hiccups here and there, but overall, the pain of waking up so early was seemingly paying off.
So it is about 5 p.m. on day 6, which means tomorrow is our last day waking up at 3 a.m. And by this point, I think my body's pretty well adjusted and I have a good idea of what actually comes out of waking up at 3 a.m. every day. And honestly, I could probably go into all these other things like I'm calm and I get to see the whole day cycle and I get to see the sunrise every morning. But really, I think the biggest thing that nobody really talks about is just when you wake up at 3 a.m. and honestly, it could be any time. It could be 4 a.m., 5 a.m., any sort of time where it's inconvenient for you to get up, when the sun isn't even up yet, when, you know, your phone isn't
TikTok's not even popping yet. When it is inconvenient and uncomfortable for you to get up and you actually do it, which is a challenge, you're gonna have that throughout the rest of the day. You're gonna have that self-discipline, and that's gonna transfer into your work, and you're gonna be grinding in a level you wouldn't have had if you were to wake up at 12 p.m. and immediately start scrolling on TikTok. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and clock out for the night, and then I'm going to see the sunrise tomorrow for the first time in like freaking ages. I haven't seen a sunrise in forever, like an actual sunrise.
I woke up on day 7 a little bit upset that this experience was coming to an end, but I went and did my morning routine and then drove out to a sunrise spots I had in mind. Alright, so it's about 7 a.m. and we picked a perfect day to go for the sunrise. It is perfectly clear, blue skies, a little bit windy and cold, but look at that. This is what the 3 a.m. grinders are rewarded with. Actually embracing a beautiful morning sunrise after pushing myself the hardest I had in a while this past week really hit hard. I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue waking up so early though, but either way, I've learned more than ever that consistently awakening with a productive mindset is extremely important. That's why you need to always get up with purpose and get after it, because every day ends the same way you started it.